excited for this video. This is going to be a huge step to getting our green up and running. So today we're going to be installing the pump. Well, in today's video, this is going to be over a couple of days. Installing a pump, controller for the golf course. Going to be running our line down to our valve boxes, which is going to be down near the green, and then run some trenches around the green as well, and start installing our green sprinklers as well. So it's all happening, man. We're still got to get the sand in on the green, but I'd love to get the irrigation in now, so when we start cutting some sand in, I can keep it wet, help it compact, and stop it sifting down through any areas as well. So, mate, this is a super exciting day. This is a massive part of this whole project. So let's just get started, get the trencher on the skiddy, start trenching. We've got the trench digger here on the skiddy. As you guys can see, Hutchin & Peers has organised all this stuff for me, so a lot of guys still ask the question. This stuff is all sponsored and sort of like a long-term loan from the guys at Hutchin & Peers, and they supply all the attachments and everything, so I didn't purchase any of this stuff. Those guys just helped me out immensely, which I'm so appreciative. So, trencher today, we didn't have to go super deep with it. We're probably going to at least still go, I want to aim for about 300mm in depth, just for the sake of it. That's going to run from the tank. So this is the line that we're running straight from the pump, which is going to feed all the other areas of the course. So this is 63mm poly that we're starting with, then it converts into PVC around the greens. Huge shout out to the guys at Reese for designing this plan for me and helping supply all this stuff as well, including the controllers, the sprinklers, the pipe, everything designed and done for free with the quote and everything like that. Mate, couldn't have done it without them. But the plan is down through the tanks, between the tanks here, which we put this tank in last week, just there. The controller is going to be mounted on the wall here somewhere, which is going to be Wi-Fi as well. And then we're going to put our pump just here somewhere, and then start running our poly down through here, stick around the ground, and pop out through this way. And this is the pipe that's feeding from the bore just here, which will then go into here, come in through the top, fill it up. We'll have a pipe running in between the two tanks as well, so they'll both fill up at the same time, and they'll have a float, which will then stop the water coming from the bore, shut off the bore, and it'll just be automatic. So whenever they get low, it'll pump up again. So it'll be a constant up and down. And the plan is to get a few more tanks installed here as well as time goes on, and as the money comes along for me to pay for it as well. Because me, and I tell you what, that green, I haven't told you guys, but the green's probably cost me nearly about 20 grand all up so far, out of my own pocket. Obviously the guys at Hutchin & Peers have supplied the equipment, Reese has supplied all the irrigation and stuff. If I had to pay for all that as well, it'd be ridiculous. But yeah, about 20 grand I think that green's going to cost me. Probably a little bit more if you include little extras here and there, like building this tank up and buying more gravel for that, and just all the fittings that go between it. Just every little thing, it adds up so quick, but it's going to be worth it. So we'll make a start. We'll start digging our trench through here. Make sure we stay as close to the fence as we can with that trench digger. It's going to be on the outside of the bore pipe feed. It's then going to have to cross at some point when it goes to the fairways, but we're just running the one to the greens today because I want to get this green installed and seeded by the end of January. Oh, is this the moment? I'm excited. Get out of it. What are you doing? Tell you what, man, this soil around here is rich. Must have been from all the horse poo back in the day. Now, I just saw a bit of Aggie down there. Bit of old ag coil. I don't know what that was from. Honestly, have no idea. Oh well. We'll find out one day if it's a problem. See how deep it is. Well, it's definitely deep enough. That's 400mm. That'll be fine. Trencher's doing a good job so far, as you can see. Just when you get to rocks, I'm just being uber careful, because last time I hit a big sucker of a rock, it was a big rock though. It did fling the chain digger, like it sort of broke a weld on there. So I'm just being careful. So if I find any big rocks like I just did, we're gonna dig it out. Oh, that's not that big. Just didn't like it. So the thing with trench diggers, sometimes they can struggle in rock. I know when my brother Josh, they were getting irrigation done on their golf course at Wentworth in town. I tell you what, there is a stupid amount of rocks there because there's a quarry nearby and it's just a rocky area. They end up having to get them to install it to dig all the trenches with an excavator, which, as you can imagine, takes a lot longer. So I'm glad it's not too rocky in this paddock. There's only a couple of rock shelves here and there and some shale and stuff. Shale, the thing's not worried about. It's more the big suckers that'll pick it up and get jammed in the digger. So you just got to be careful with it and take it slow. Trench is dug all the way down now towards the green. So from here, we're putting a valve box in just here, which will then have a loop around the green, and then swing arms will come off the poly that's in there, which will then go to our green sprinklers. So we obviously caught a few rocks along the way. There's a little couple of rocks through here. This wasn't too bad. Could get that with the shovel. Now the main problem was, man, I need to get fit, bro. Whew. The main problem was these rocks just here. So there was a ton of rocks for this area just here. We've made it through. That's deeper than it needs to be, so I put some soil back in there and then put the pipe on top of that. But it's deep enough all the way through. I end up going about anywhere from 3 to 400 mil all the way through, so we're not going to have issues with hitting the pipe in the future. As you can imagine, the pipe is 63 mil in size, so it is popping up a little bit higher for that. Why am I so bit? Yeah, trench is a goer. All the way up through there, all the way down there. So now I need to dig around the green as close as I can to the green as well with that trencher. And I know there's no rocks around that area too, so we're going to be sweet, because when I dug the green out, somehow I didn't pull out one rock down from down there. Just ridiculous. So we'll dig all the way around there. And then I've got Matt, my old neighbour from across the road, is one of my really good friends, coming out to help me GPS where the sprinklers are supposed to go from our design from the guys at Reese. I'm going to do that. Then I've got my brother-in-law this afternoon coming as well to do some electrical, so we get our pump in and our control as well up behind the tanks. So it's all systems go. Christmas is this weekend, so I don't think we'll have the sprinklers in by Christmas, but I'll have all my trenches done, hopefully the pipe in, pump in, controller in, ready, set, go. Wait, and hopefully the sand turns up. Back for another day. So yesterday my brother-in-law Ollie came and put the electrical in behind the tanks there, so we can put the pump in and the controller as well. Down the bottom I finished the trench up to the green, and I leveled some dirt out around the green as well. Spent a bit of time doing that, as you guys saw previously in the previous clips. Now come check this out. Our sand has started to turn up. So this is the sand from Ugara that I told you guys about, that came from the guys Dencol in town. I'm paying a bit over 40 bucks a ton for this stuff, and we've got 240 tons, so you guys do the maths, but it is not cheap, I'll tell you that much. But really good sand. I mean, it's cheaper than getting USGA sand out of Sydney, nearly half the price, which is ideal. It's very, very close to USGA spec sand. I actually got some tests done on it and got all the granule sizes and everything, and it's pretty dang close to USGA sand. We don't have to be bang on. This is a home green. It's not going to have heaps of traffic on it, but this stuff is going to be perfect to chuck on top of this gravel. I actually didn't think it'd be here by now, so I mean, I'm trying to figure out what to do, because I've got to do the irrigation around the sides, but if the sand's here and we're supposed to start getting some rain tomorrow, I want to start carting the sand in. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to get a lot of it in there before it rains. So I'm considering just starting to do the sand today and getting as much as I can in there before the rain sets in. I think it's tomorrow afternoon that it sets in, so I reckon I could get quite a lot of it in over the next 2 days. So I'm going to mark out the surveying pegs at 300 mil that are on the green, and then let's cart some sand and we'll do the irrigation after that. It might be in next week's video, but we've made a start on the irrigation anyway. So I'm not sure if I've explained exactly what these stakes are for, but these are to keep our levels pretty consistent throughout the whole green build. So I want it to be similar to my subgrade. The gravel layer I did level out pretty much nearly bang on to what I want it to be as my final grade. And then there might be some slight adjustments with the sand, but not much from what's here right now. So I've got to mark out 300 mil above these stakes. Tape measure, a bit of duct tape. Make some of those stakes back in, because I did accidentally ding some of them with the skiddy last time I used it. But yeah, this is just basically cutting sand in for probably the next 2 full days. I reckon 240 ton might take me even longer. Be good if 2 people on skiddies would be handy. Anyway, let's do it. Let's mark these out and let's just start cutting some sand in. I want to get it done. It's almost Christmas, 21st of December today, so we're getting close to holiday season. Right, let's start cutting the sand in. So we'll bring it at the front, dump a lot of it at the front, and then we're basically going to work over top of that sand, which will help compact it in and sort of just push it out across the whole area. Finicky process, got to make sure I don't rough up the gravel underneath, and make sure I don't drive the skiddy on it, because then you have to get the rake out, I don't really want to get a plate compactor back here and fluff around with it. So that is the plan. We want this sand to get nice and compacted as well. So there'll be a bit of watering in between in the process as well. I've got a firefighting pump which I can use from the dam to water it once we've got quite a bit of the sand in, and we'll just keep tracking over it and kicking along like that. That's the way we're going to roll. So let's do it. This is exciting. Back in for another day. We've got, I reckon, about half the sand in there. Still got some more sand to be dropped off. There's about 30 tonnes sitting over there, another truck and a dog, and then probably another truck on top of that as well. So we'll start bringing some more down this way, try to get in before this rain. They're supposed to kick in around lunchtime today, so we'll see. 30 tonnes taking me about a little bit under an hour to get through. Depends on what part of the green I'm taking it to, but yeah, if we get this all in before the rain, it'll be awesome, because that's going to help compact it down, get some of the air pockets out of it, and me driving over at the moment to help compacting it as well. I'm not going to be using a plate compactor this time round, just going to be compacted with the tyres with some water, and then probably running something like a bunker rake over it to help level it out and get all my levels and everything as well. So let's get stuck into it. Waiting for the truck to come back with some more sand. Now, there is some sand left over down the bottom there, but it's super duper close to the grass. There's a bit of cooch in there, a bit of paspalum, a bit of everything else, which I do not want to get any of that, not even an inkling of it in the green. So I'm going to put the power rake on and just level it out. Over there, we've got plenty enough sand coming. Like, I'm going to have extra sand, which is not a bad thing. But so we're going to level that out now and just wait while we're waiting for him. Well, that looks so much better. Just looks tidy. Actually leveled out some areas too as well, because it's quite lumpy and bumpy through there. I'll probably chuck some ryegrass or something down there and just let the rain take care of it once the rest of the sand comes in, because I've torn it up quite a bit. But the sand has obviously helped fix that, and that power rake, man, is ridiculous. Anyway, I hope this sand turns up soon, because the rain looks like it's starting to shift towards us. If it's just a sprinkle, it's fine, because it actually help sort of compact it down a bit. But if it starts pouring, I don't really want to track like mud in onto the sand. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny point. Rest of the sand turned up late yesterday afternoon, so let's rip it in. It's supposed to be showers on and off today, so anyway, let's go. got sand over the whole green now. I have got some leftovers. I told you guys I've probably got an extra, I would say close to 30 ton, oh probably 40 ton actually. But some of that's going to go up in the areas up the top where I need to put a little bit more sand. I'll show you. So through this area, just through here, I want to flatten it out quite a lot. So I'm going to bring quite a few more buckets through here, probably another, I'd say I'd get at least another 20 buckets just through this end, because I don't want this green sloping all the way to the water like it currently is. We did set a little bit with the gravel and make it a little bit better, but it still needs a little bit more sand up above there just to shape it a bit more. Now, I've got these stakes here just to show me where my 300mm depth is, because I don't want to go any more shallow than that. It is compacted. Woo! Let's see how much sand we've actually got there. Man, there's a lot of sand. Okay, there we go. There's some gravel right at the bottom there. So, we're at, oh, I'm sorry. That is so close to 300mm just there. We're sitting at like just shy of it. So I need a little bit more sand needs to come through here as well, as I was saying anyway, because this all needs quite a few buckets here to level it out. I've got a little bit of extra sand down the bottom. So down the bottom would be my 300mm, but when I started I went a bit lighter on. Don't know why, to be honest, I just did. Just there, that little bit further down, it is at, we've been close to 400mm. So there'll be a lot of pushing around of the sand and shaping it. Some areas will get some taken out, some areas will have some left in. That's why these stakes are here, so I've got a bit of a guide. And I can use this old golf club just here that I've got marked off at 300mm to press in, see our depth. So that there's just above 300mm. That will compact down a bit though, and we'll probably need to bring a little bit more in. As you can see, yeah, so a bit more sand needs to come in through this area. It's mostly at the top where it needs it, down the bottom, not so much. Thanks guys so much for watching, appreciate you guys so much. Obviously shout out to Hutchin and Pierce for lending me this equipment. Would not have been able to be done this quick if I didn't have this equipment and if I was hiring it out. So huge shout out to them. Obviously Reese for the irrigation, the irrigation just to come in. It's all happening. And just shout out to you guys as well for watching. Without you guys watching, there was no way I'd be here at the moment building a golf green in a paddock for a property you bought for the business. So I just appreciate you guys so much. All the support you guys give me, watching the videos, commenting. Appreciate yous. Alright, we'll wrap it up and I'll see you guys very, very soon.